We're making Moharra today. One of my favorite dishes. So you start out by having fish. You leave the head on and everything else, including the scales, because you're going to deep fry this baby. And you want to make some nice cuts diagonally along the body here on both sides. So that's what we're going to do first. So that's one. About 1 inch apart. 2. 3. And 4. Now, I'm going to do a 5th one down here. But let me tell you folks something. If you feel uncomfortable, you're more than welcome to cut this head off. But I don't mind the head on. Do the same 5 cuts here. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Now, just to mention, in most cases, I don't eat the outside of this fish, but I am in total belief that leaving the scales and everything on here adds something to this fish. Did you know the snapper? You know the reason why it's called snapper? Check this out. Baby got some teeth on it. Do you see those little teeth? Arr. Dangerous little mug, huh? Okay, so I'm just going over with some salt. I ran out of kosher salt, which I would normally salt something up this big with because it just gets in a little bit better. I do have some seasoning salt, and yes, I did leave everything on this bad boy. Everything, because it's going to be deep fried. So I got some salt, some pepper going here. And you know my normal suspects. Some onion powder and some garlic powder are going to go on here. I'm going to have a little bit of seasoning salt. And I also have some Obey today. Of course, you don't have to do all this if you don't want to. I've had it, and I'm sure at the restaurant that I go to, they do not put all this on there. But I'm not the only one that's going to eat this fish today. So I'm going to be mindful of others, as they say. So I'm just going to throw a little flour on here to finish it up. This is going to give it just a little bit of a crisp, not much, just a little bit to coat it, okay? Just a little bit. And as I mentioned, I did rinse and wash this fish very good, and then I just let it air dry on a nice little sheet. All right, so now we got on the other side. We're going to come back and do the same thing. Some salt. The inside and some salt too. We already got it once. Okay, some salt and some pepper. Got a little bit of garlic powder. Got a little bit of onion powder. And got some seasoning salt. Hit it with that Obey. Okay. And again, come back with just a little bit of flour. And this is just regular flour, not all-purpose flour. Last thing but not least, I'm just going to throw a little paprika on it. Okay? All right. Now, in the midst of me doing this, look at that. I'm going to put a little bit more flour on this side. In the midst of me doing this, I had some oil. I had some oil already getting hot over here. So I'm gonna move you over with me. Okay. Okay. So I got my oil here. It's pretty hot. You can check your oil a couple ways. You can stick a toothpick in there. Can you hear it bubbling? It's almost like hearing the air come out of a tire or a balloon or something. Just a shh, like a little whisper. So you can stick a toothpick in there and see if that oil is ready. And it pretty much is. You want to try to put enough oil in this pot. It should be covering. And I'm just going to place it right in here. Get them in there as best as possible. And then I'm just going to put a lid over it. He's in there. I'm going to place the lid over him. And I'm going to let him cook on that side for about 10 minutes. Then I'll flip him to the other side. Okay. I flipped my fish right at 10 minutes. And look at it. It's all golden brown and looking delicious, honey. And my friend is looking good, honey. Look at my friend here, honey. I got that tail in too. Once I flipped it, it got to sit down in there. Now notice I have this on a rack because I'm going to let all that grease drain right down into the parchment paper. And then I'm going to have a nice juicy fish. And check out those scales. Scales ain't no match for this grease. Only time that you want to leave some scales on, okay? You'll go right underneath this fish. Look. Go right underneath the fish. And look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. White, ready to eat red snapper. Juicy and delicious. This is Adrienne. And it's time to eat, baby.